football players, cheerleaders, managers, everybody else. We're scanning right now to take a look at all the kids and their parents. Bad night for everybody. Festivities will be underway in a little while. Kids are a little anxious over here. Everybody looks pretty happy, but you know, by the end of the night, it's pretty sad. I'm sure some of the parents are going to feel the impact more than the kids. There's one right there. He's definitely doing a little crying himself. Standing over here, there's a little girl got him way over here, so don't get too many people in. There's Phyllis and Arlene. They look like they're really into this thing. Like Parisi's, and we'll scan a little bit and we'll set you up for an introduction to what's going to be happening tonight. Also, the boys really get a kick out of tonight. It's nice to be honored. There's somebody that's very familiar to me. Enough of that one. So next time we'll be tuning in as soon as the festivities start.
Kids have a good time, and let's face it, this is for the kids. Before we begin, though, I would like to extend a round of applause to Grace Valzerano and her staff. As always, it was very good. Thank you.
We've had at West Essex for quite some time. I know the 7 years that I've held this position is the best ball we've had. 5 out of our 6 programs were ranked in the top 10 in Essex County. 2 of our teams were ranked in the top 10 in the state. 2 state championships, 2 conference championships. It's been quite a fall. I'd like to address the cheerleaders and the players for just a second. Their accomplishments this year were just outstanding. They overcame adversity. They looked at this, at one point they were 1 and 2. And the coaches, kept working, kids kept working, and they went on to win 6 in a row. I've been here 18 years. Only one other team has won 6 games in a row, and that was in 1978. We were fortunate enough to win our first 9. By finishing 7 and 2, this team will go down as the 4th best team record-wise in the 32 years that we played football. And we're very fortunate. This is a team that stuck together and hung together. One of the things that I will remember about this team is the closeness. They hung together in school. We had great senior leadership, and it showed. One day I'll remember, and I've had the dubious honor all 3 times we were hanging around for the playoffs. And after the Par Hills game, you had to see it. When you have 60 or 70 kids jammed into a coach's office, and we're calling every police department in the world trying to get scores. And it didn't happen for these guys. I know that they wanted to go to the playoffs, but I'm going to say something to them. This isn't sour grapes. It's a good thing we didn't go to the playoffs, because it would have cost the Board of Education a lot of money. Because, in my opinion, we were the best Group 3 team in the state. I'd like to thank the cheerleaders for their support, the cheerleading advisors for the great job they do. I think, bar none, this is the best coaching staff that we've ever had, and they just keep getting better. Coach Anello was zeroing in on being the winningest coach. It's the first time in West Essex history, and you seniors will go down. It's the first time that West Essex has ever put 4 consecutive winning seasons in a row in our history. And we're grateful for that. I'd like to thank the Booster Club and the Board of Education for everything that they've done for us. Our new superintendent, Danny Borgo, just keep paying the bills, baby. We love you. principals that I work for are just outstanding. The cooperation we get here is second to none. Again, guys, we're very proud of you, and good luck in the future. To the seniors, if there's anything that we ever do for you, you guys never leave us. You're always part of us. And we'll always remember what you did here. And that goes for the girls, the cheerleaders, and the players. If there's anything we can do to help you between now and the time you get in school, or even when you're done, I will always be here for you. And again, thank you for everything. I have one special presentation tonight before I sit down. Turn it over to Coach Anello. This individual is the longest guy on our coaching staff. The other day in the cafeteria, we're sitting there having a cup of coffee together, and he looks at me and goes, "Dad, I miss you." And I said, "Donnie, relax. August is just around the corner." And a smile came to his face. He's been with us for 25 years. He does an outstanding job coaching our freshmen, scouting. He's just been a pleasure to be around. He and I laugh all the time. When I'm down in the dumps, this is one guy that can get me going. And he's given West Essex 25 great years. 5 or 6, maybe more than that, undefeated teams. Kids are always well prepared when they come up. And he's just done an outstanding job. Token of our appreciation, so presented to Don Alvarez, 25 years of dedicated service to the West Essex football program. Thank you, Donnie.
Thank you very much. I've always enjoyed coaching football in West Essex, especially freshman football, and I still do. And I hope to have many more years here, God willing. I want to thank my wife, Linda, for putting up with 25 years of coaching. And my son, Michael's also here. He helped us out this year. He pulled a few touchdown plays back. So thank you very much, and I love you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to basketball. Mary Ann Ferrara. Erica. Anna. Jen Mayer. Judith G. Jessica Pamaka. Patrice Terza. Melissa Hodges. Nicole Armino. Nicole is a senior and she will be leaving us, but we will still have her for our winter season. Thank you very much, Nicole, for all your help. Jillian DiNardo.
for your time and dedication to our squad.
On behalf of our squad, I'd like to give this to Nicole and thank her for all of her hard work and for sticking with us even though we were hard to handle, and we're really going to miss you next year.
Okay, thank you, girls. Now moving on, I would like to bring up the girls who decorated your dinner room tonight, your stands at every game, your homes the night before the games, and your secret cheerleaders, our varsity cheerleaders. Right, so thank you very much. We appreciate it. I'd like to announce the sophomores first. We'll start out with Stephanie Angelino. Come on out, Steph. Stephanie does a lot of basing and spotting. This is Kim's first varsity football season with me, and she looks like she's been here for 3. She's a great cheerleader, she has a great smile, and I really can't wait to see her next year. She's done a great job. Okay, I'd like to mention Nancy Foci, who's not here tonight, but she's a junior. This girl smiles all through the game. She's hysterical. She's great. She really is a great cheerleader, great jumps, and she does a lot of basing for us, and we're going to miss her. Next is a girl who can take control of anything and get things rolling. She can get 24 girls in line, even me, and that's Bridget Bobette. Brienne does a lot of basing, and she even spotted for us this year to keep things safe. She helped, the dance that you saw at halftime, all 3 of these captains made up, so that was a lot of work to coordinate all the jumps and the basket tosses. Next is Cheryl Iskra. Cheryl has done a really terrific job. She kept everybody in line on the sidelines, and she was very, with it, kept trying to keep things organized. She actually climbed for us on top of Dory. Okay, she's the one. And they did come on, guys. they did a really nice job. It was a very, very difficult start, and they kept it safe, and they did it well. I'm really going to miss Cheryl. Next is Vicki Parisi. Really pulled everything together, made sure we had the music, we got the dance together with the chorus, tried to keep all the girls in line, made phone calls, got the decorations to decorate, which we thank the Booster Club for since they paid for all the decorations on the stands. And I'm really going to miss all 3 girls. They did a great job.
congratulate him. In front of all of you for the excellence that he does with the line, both offense
who most of you know quite well, who handles the secondary and the receivers on the offense. We work quite well together. It's my feeling, Thomas. We have a great time. We do enjoy what we do. And we are blessed often with some real fine students. We'll bring these fellows up now and then call their names out in order to expedite the time. Will the freshman team please come up? In the beginning of the season, when we first came out, walked into the locker room, we were getting an initial roster. We were rather surprised in the number that we had. After a few days, the first group out, which Coach Anello addresses them, we counted 14, which wasn't much to field a football team, which hopefully you have 11 offense and 11 defense, giving you 22. 14 was rather slim. Well, encouragement through them, their peers, coaching, the fellows on the staff, we did get some more fellows out. We ended up with 23. All of whom played in the majority of games, and 8 of whom we grew up scoring. Tom Boyle. Kevin Carter. Ralph Cassell. Mike Cecile. Vincent Chen. Rick Crawl. Mario D'Angelo. Darren DeFazio. Tom Forsythe. Joe Frieda. Justin Klein. Chris Cornett. Chris LaForte. Chris Catala. Due to an injury, Chris was our manager. He's over that. Adam Mustafa. Matt Bardino. Nick Pence. Robert Sykes. Bill Stack. Matt Stambula. Bob Stevenson. Michael Carroll. Scott Wilson. Tim Catanzaro.
The Little Toy Truck was a tiny team for which there was little to choose. And there were those who predicted that they would certainly lose. But the Little Toy Truck was aware of West Essex tradition and refused to accept such dire prediction. So they labored and toiled to fix the toy truck, and eventually they were good enough to make their own luck. Led by DeFazio, D'Angelo, LaForgia, and Cecile, opponents soon realized that this toy truck was something to fear. It wasn't until Game 7 against an undefeated Booton team that the Little Toy Truck turned into an awesome machine. In this game, it seemed that all our players had matured, and thus a winning season was now assured. But a winning season was not enough for the Little Toy Truck. So they buckled up their chin straps and did what they had to do to make their season's record 7-2. Coach Anello, meet the toy truck that now has a much nobler dream, and that is to become part of your big red machine. Thank you.
Thank you for helping us out and Coach Lyman to West Essex football. In his 25 years of coaching, his record is 139 wins, 59 losses, and 4 ties.
All right, Coach Janelle, freshman squad for next year, you guys are now varsity players. Would you like to say anything to them at this point? Okay?
That's right, get away from him. Save yourself. I had this all prepared here, man. Do it off the top of my head.
Work ethic is you learn to play as a team. Okay, I'm challenging each and every one of you right now to be with us. One of the greatest things I think we've done in this football program is install a sophomore team. So sophomores have gotten better and better and better because they're playing 89 games. And that's what we want for you. We're bringing right to this program, and as Coach Alco said, you're now part of the Big Red Machine. Guys, you did a great job this year. I congratulate each and every one of you. And we meet in January. We want you there. If you're not involved in winter sport, because then we get ready for next year. Great job, guys. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to thank a group of individuals who seldom get any recognition for their efforts and hard work. They can always be depended on, and they do an outstanding job for us behind the scenes. Thanks again, man, for another great year. You, Alicius, Supervisor of Maintenance and Grounds, Sal Passaparro, his assistant who's done a great job setting up the cafeteria for us tonight, Tony Del Corsano, Charlie Dowling, Augie Pisamato, Larry Frieda, Dennis Planch on order for Brian Wilson, who handles our stats. Very glorious. It's a very laborious, time-consuming job, and he has done an outstanding job with it. And when we come up to get our awards, guys, we have 100 copies here of all our statistics, so we want each one of you to take them. Thanks, Brian. Good contribution to our football program, and that's our managers. Would you please come up with that point name? Maria Lombardi. I don't believe Lisa Baker was here, but I do believe she deserves a round of applause. She did a great job. Kevin Wilson. Kevin's managerial days are over. He will be a player next year. Jack Hugo. Anita DeMott. coaching is. They're loyal to the school, to the football program, and most importantly, they care about every student and athlete that they come in contact with. That's a sign of a true teacher. I'm extremely honored to have them as coaches. I'm even more honored to be their friend. They've stuck by me this year when things got a little tough, and they're always there for me. I thank you very much for that. Okay, whenever they're ready, we're going to start the introduction of our football players.
Coach Anello asked me to come up tonight and say something about some of our players. I said, no, not me. It's a lot of people, but not me. He said, you do it or you get fired. Just be nice to me. First, I want to thank the administration, Board of Education, and the coaching staff for given me the opportunity to be an assistant varsity coach here at West Essex. Second, but not least, my great thanks goes to Coach Anello for having confidence in me and my abilities to do a good job. Most of all, I want to thank the young men which I have coached for having accepted me and for giving me the respect of an older person, even though there's only 3 to 4 years of an age difference between myself and some of our players. It has been a privilege to have been their coach, and from what I can see from our young men, I know that they come from great parents. Okay, now I'm going to call up the players, and I'm going to call your name. Come up, please. Okay, Marlon Gomez. Started this year in our lead position on defense for our JV team, and he was back at the varsity. Marlon has excellent work habits and plenty of dedication as well as commitment to our program. Marlon will be back next year competing for a starting position on either defense or offense.
Thanks, George.
Brian Navy. Brian is better known to most of us as Boomer. Brian was our starting quarterback this year. He had a tremendous year. Brian had a numerous amount of big-time throws for West Essex this year. One that sticks out in my mind is the touchdown pass against Menlo. All the coaches were yelling to Brian to have the receiver from the route that was called and not to convert it, but Brian could not hear us. So he went out to convert the route, and we scored the game-winning touchdown. We are looking forward to having Brian back next year and having a big contribution to our offense.
I just want everyone to know that Brian Navy was selected to the honorable mention offensive team at the league meeting last week. Congratulations.
Ricky Luciano. Ricky was starting as a quarterback and back across the quarterback. Nicky played in our first sophomore game. And an instant that I can remember is Nicky coming over to me and saying, Coach, you can't call that play. I can't steal the lineman. Nicky has an excellent future ahead of him. He became more and more comfortable at playing quarterback as the season went along. He had very good work habits, which led to his skills improving every week. Nicky will be back next year competing for a starting position. Brett Hamilton. Brett was our Steve Renshaw. RC concentrated on defensive back. RC also played on our JV games as a defensive back. RC had a productive year for both our sophomore and JV programs, and we're looking forward to having him back next year competing for a starting position also. Chris Cardell. Defense for our sophomore program. He also played in our JV games. With his defensive abilities, Chris should contend for a varsity position next year. We look forward to having him back. Jeff Ladner. Say that right. And we look forward to Jeff contributing to our program next year. Anthony Kazak. Josh Coleman. One more thing, listen, thank you for having me here tonight, and I look forward to playing more years with Coach Anello on the staff.
I'll take
thanking the second slot. We got the rookie lead off. I think he did an outstanding job. And he got to thank everyone. So I'm going to go right into the players. I'm going to start off with the receivers that I worked with this year, some of the receivers. And we'll start with Anthony Garrett. Anthony? Anthony was one of the starting receivers this year for the sophomore team. Unfortunately, the sophomores play on Thursday, so I didn't get to see Anthony play, but I always got to report back. And from the reports, Anthony had an outstanding season for sophomores. Working with the receivers, Anthony possesses a nice pair of hands, he has a good speed, he's an outstanding athlete. I know he's an outstanding athlete because I have him for wrestling also. He's going to be one of my JV captains this year, and he's going to help lead the wrestling team, the JV team, to a successful season. Next person is Chris Farrow. I don't believe Chris made it today. Unfortunately, Chris was injured early in the year, and he didn't get to finish the season with us, but hopefully he'll be back for his senior year. Next player is Chris Patrick. Chris. Chris played junior varsity defensive back for us. He was also one of our junior varsity receivers. I worked with Chris during the week. Through his hard work and continued improvement during the year, Chris ended up being a national receiver. Chris is one of those bread and butter guys during the week, or blue collar guys they don't care a lot about, but it's on all the scout teams, puts forth a lot of effort, getting the varsity team ready on Saturday. And those are the type of people that make a strong varsity team. Chris is a valuable member of our team, and I'm very excited about having him back for next year's senior year. Next is Tom Filippella. Well, I'm a little disappointed that Thomas didn't come back to us with the wrestling team this year. I still love him. Flip was one of our JV receivers and defensive backs. Thomas is one of those guys that plays on heart power. And I think I mentioned it last year. And if you look at Thomas, he doesn't possess the size of a lot of other football players, but when he's out there, he's all heart and guts. And he's a tough guy. And during the week, like Chris, he's one of those blue-collar guys that puts forth everything he has getting the varsity team ready for the game on Saturday. Anytime I look for a scout team player, Thomas is the first one there, ready to put forth his best effort. And I think the varsity team really appreciates that. Thomas is a pleasure to coach, and I'm also excited to have him back this senior year. Next receiver is Jason Malone. Jason started at free safety for the JV team. Jason also got in at some time at wide receiver. Through his dedication, Jason became a national defensive back. During the week when I got to work with him, he became a national receiver. He's got good hands, deceptive speed, and he seems to get over. I believe that Jason really works hard in the off-season. He'll be pushing some people for some varsity time next year. Next receiver is Michael Chermoli. It was a pleasant surprise and a pleasure to see Michael come out for the team this year and see him at camp. He didn't play for us his sophomore year, but I had Michael, I had the pleasure to coach Michael during freshman baseball. And Michael's a very coachable individual, and he's just a great guy to have around. As a receiver, Michael has outstanding hands. And I just want you to take a look at him real quick. Michael, hold those hands up. Michael is also not afraid to go over the middle to catch the ball. He knows he's going to get banged up, but I know he's going to hold on to it, and he's going to bounce line straight up, not giving the defensive back the opportunity to get in his face. I think Michael's going to be playing a lot for us next year, and I expect big things from him next year. Last receiver I'm going to bring up is Pete Viscount. Coach just informed me that he was first team conference for first team. He was our go-to guy this year. 4th and long, desperate situation. What do we do? Throw a 91 P. We knew he would get it done, and he knew he would get it done. And that's the big thing, having confidence on the field to do it. And 9 out of 10 times, he got it done. He won some very good games. He's one of those rare athletes that make the impossible plays look easy. As a receiver, he smooth as silk out there. Tremendous hands, excellent speed, runs great routes, and definitely deserves all confidence. I can't wait till next year to watch Pete terrorize the defensive backs from the other teams.
There you go, big guy.
Before I break to the linebackers, I'm going to ask receivers to have a seat. I'd just like to thank the senior receivers this year. Chopper, Alex, Jason, and Michael, for the leadership, to the juniors and sophomores, for the dedication to the program. You're a talented group of guys that would have made any run and shoot coach envious. Unfortunately, we're not running and shoot. I get myself in trouble. Okay, before I start with the linebackers, I'd like to thank one special individual, and that's Mark Robertiello. Rose have come down and help out the sophomore group, and we had a large group of sophomores this year for linebackers. At times, I didn't display the most patience in the world with them. And I asked Mark to come down, and he came down and he helped them out, and he showed them what being a linebacker is all about. And I really appreciate that, Mark. Thanks a lot. Good job. First sophomore I'm going to call up is Mark Keenan. Thanks to another sophomore linebacker in the beginning of the year was giving me fits, but more because he would never stop talking. That used to drive me nuts. They used to have to tell him, shut up all the time, listen to the drill. But he had an outstanding season for us. He started both sophomore and JV games at linebacker, which is an outstanding feat. He's playing twice a week, Thursday and on Mondays. He's also a very tough runner for the sophomore team as a fullback. Brian has good feet, he's a good hitter, he has a nose for the ball, and I believe he's going to be an outstanding linebacker for our program. He's another one that I think he dedicates the time to the weight room. He's going to be playing a lot for us next year at varsity. Steve Barrett. Just when Steve started to truly understand the position and play as well, he got injured practicing against the varsity offensive squad. Michael Decker. Michael continued the tradition of West Essex having an outstanding punter. Michael was our varsity punter this year, had no punch block, and always kept us in good field position. As a linebacker, Michael led the JV team, led the defensive tackles, and he was a leader on the field.
I thought for a while about what I would say about Dave, and I think something about best is he likes to have fun. What's going to happen is he'll grow a little bit, get Jeff, again, is another young man who I've worked with for the past 2 years on both offense and defense. And I'm going to give him a lot of credit. Beginning of the year, he lost his starting spot. And he just said, I don't care what you say, I'm going to go out and I'm going to start anyway. And he took back his starting spot in the second game of the year. And from then on, he started on defense for the rest of the year. And he really came of age in the Mount Olive game. And if anybody was there, you know the Mount Olive was trying to throw the ball into play. And every time, Jeff got in the way. And he was defensive player of the game. And that doesn't have very good hands if you watch the game. But at least he was Mike DeDrama. Deej, again, is another excellent athlete, and he was a victim of circumstances this year. He's a running back that could probably start on any other team in the conference, except we had two of the best halfbacks in the league. He's also a defensive back who could have started on most of the teams in the conference, but he just didn't. But he also returned punts for us. He's the best punt returner we've had since I've been here. And we're looking for him to be a real big contributor next year. And finally, L.I. Finally, he's another guy, two-way starter for us, halfback and free safety. Another excellent athlete. And he can't take all credit himself because there's other running backs and offensive line helping him out a lot. But, yeah, it's gone. But he also got a lot of yards on his own. And he's a real tough running back, and next year we're hoping for him to be the best running back in the league. Senior running backs who I've worked with for the past 3 years. You guys, I've really enjoyed working with you. You've been a lot of fun. This was the most fun I've had since I've been coaching. In 5 years that I've been coaching, this is really the most fun I've had. And I think I owe it all, not all, but a lot of it to the seniors this year because they were fun kids to work with.
Daddy has to. They have to learn technique. That's usually done on the sled, which they love. We have to teach them line blocking rules. You know, they like to refer to Huskies as unskilled people. I'm not quite sure why, since it probably happens to be the most cerebral. By the way, the Huskies know that word. I'm not quite sure if anybody else does. They have to be the most cerebral people on the team. They have to know line blocking rules. They have to make line blocking calls. They have to make adjustments. Baby Huskies have to learn all that. Baby Huskies have to learn discipline. They're not allowed to stop concentrating. But most of all, the biggest lesson baby Huskies have to learn is to just work. These young men have learned all that more this year. And as you can see, by their size, they're not going to be baby Huskies for long. And babies can stay. They're too big for me to say anything else. The following group of Huskies are teenagers. Jason Brady, Chris Poplar Console, and Vinny LaFord. Notice, these teenage Huskies are people who have learned their first year lessons well. They know how to work. For lack of a better term, I refer to them as transitional Huskies. They've kind of reached that point, you know, that generation gap that parents and children have. They want to go off on their own, but they're not quite ready. All right? I'd like to introduce you to my transitional Huskies. Frankie Odessa. God knows he wants to go off on his own. Kevin Cronin. Scotty Miller. And Michael Moore. These four young men up here right now are varsity backups. So in my mind, they are varsity football players. Could they be Huskies? Absolutely. On most teams in this league, they would be Huskies. The primary reason why they are transitional is because they have a real Husky inheritance. These men, if you look at them closely, you'll be hearing about them next year. Maybe not as individuals, but I guarantee you, as a group, you'll be hearing about them. They are varsity people. My final group are real men. I'd like to introduce you to three real men. Reggie Barbarossa. First of all, women scream at them. That was me. Secondly, they have been put in the line of fire, and they have proven themselves. Freddie Barbarossa, although he didn't start 9 games this year, was thrown into the heat of the fire at Dover. And if I had to pick one game this year in which West Essex played better than any other game that I've seen in a long time, I have to pick the Dover, even though the score wasn't what it should have been. He played, not only did he play, next week we needed to rest Matty offensively. Freddie started, and as you know, it was cakewalk the next week. Freddie's a varsity ball player. Eric Vitale. Eric was hanging out with his wide receivers last year. We were a little worried about Eric, but Eric starting tight end and finish the rest of the year as a starter. Last but not least, Matty Benequista. It's my privilege to announce that Matty was picked first team All-Conference.
There you go, Chief.
Varsity starter this year. He was an impact player, both offensively and in particular, the real men. What makes them Huskies is that I can guarantee you, if any of you come to the practice field next year, that you're going to, and if you want to look for people who are leading by example, if you want to look for people who lead with their actions, with their deeds, both on the practice field and in the line of fire, those three young men will stand out. I promise you. There's one more young man I'd like to recognize. He would have been a Husky in the making, but he went on injured reserve this year. And I'm not quite sure, talking with his father, whether he will be back next year, but he stayed with the program the whole year. And that's another thing that separates Huskies from everybody else. They stay with the program. That's Timmy Olsen, who went on injured reserve. Just like to, before I leave, congratulate all the seniors. I've been here 19 years. I've told the seniors this on a number of occasions. I haven't told the rest of the audience that it is. In the 19 years I've been here, the varsity football team has won 7 games or more only 3 times. The last time that happened was over a decade ago in 1980. So, Coach Anello is absolutely correct when he says this team took us to the next level. This is the first team in over a decade that has won 7 games or more. And I think any of you who watched the Group 3 North Jersey Section 1 playoffs realize that we should have been in this show. Congratulations, guys.
At this time, I'd like to introduce to you our seniors. It's always a tough time of the evening because these guys have been with us most of them for 4 years, and it gets a little strange next August when you don't see those faces around. When I think of this player, the word determination comes to my mind. When the season started, he found himself in a new position, limiting his playing time. But as the season progressed, so did he. Karsten Boyer worked hard every day in practice. His technique and skill improved, and when called upon, he delivered as one of our messenger tight ends. Karsten Boyer is the epitome of what desire, dedication, and loyalty and perseverance are all about. I'm proud of him for his contribution and commitment to this football program, and I'm honored to have coached him. I would also like to add that Karsten is ranked number 15 in his class, possesses a 4.1 GPA, and will never match. I have to apologize. I just got a new prescription here. It's not working too well. You're right, it's old age. My heart goes out to this player. He missed his junior year due to an injury, and that was extremely tough on him. However, he never lost his commitment, his loyalty, or dedication to this program. Obviously, Anthony Stiglia was enthused and excited about his senior year. Unfortunately, complications set in from his injury and surgery was required, sidelining Anthony from his senior season. Believe me, there's nothing more frustrating for a player than to be out with an injury. Just watching the games can be extremely difficult. You want to be out there with your teammates, and you just can't. At times you don't feel like you're part of the team, and that's the toughest aspect of being injured. However, Anthony, as I said, never lost his devotion, his commitment, his love for this program. He was there all the time, encouraging his teammates. He was there to lend a hand when needed, and he was there because he cared. I want you to know, Anthony, that you are as much a member of this team as any other player, and you are as important to me as any other player, and you will always be a member of this football family. Anthony Castiglia is one super young man. He's pleasant, he's responsible, he's mature, and he's fun to be around. Anthony Castiglia. Player, but on the field he is a force to be reckoned with. Joseph Cohen has had a tremendous year for us. As a fullback, he was a punishing runner with great vision, balance, and comeback abilities. Also a strong blocker with an excellent pair of hands. When he was called upon to play linebacker, he did an outstanding job for us. Joe is a true team player. As a junior, I asked him if he would move over to tight end because we had a need for someone there. And I needed to get Joe on the field because he has tremendous athletic abilities. I know Joe is a true fullback, and I remember looking in his face, and he had that puzzled look on him when he said, "Fine, coach, wherever you need me, I'll play." That's the type of player and person Joseph Cohen is. He's caring, he's loyal, he's dedicated, hardworking, and always giving of himself to what is in the best interest of this football team. He's a super young man, Joseph Cohen. Joe is a member of the National Honor Society. He's both a merit and professional scholar. And he's also voted for the second team All-Conference Offensive Scholar. He didn't get to play as much as he would have liked to, but that never dampened his commitment to his football program. Last winter, I expressed to Tommy Bernardo that we had planned to move to our loop end position, possibly the most difficult position to play in our defensive package. Well, the switch of position didn't affect his game at all. Whether he was dropping into pass coverage, funneling a would-be receiver, or playing the run, he truly had an outstanding year defensively. Offensively, offensively, Tommy can block, and I mean block. Bone crushing type blocks, pancake blocks. He can run the ball, and I know everyone that watched him play this year would agree that he can catch the ball. Tommy's a complete football player on both sides of the football. But even more so, it's very important, his knowledge of the game. He understands what's going on out there. He understands why situations are happening. He's outstanding as a leader because he works. His ability on the field, his loyalty, his desire, and determination. He's a super guy. He's a lot of fun to be around. And I'm going to miss it next year. He always popped in my office first thing. Coach got a pencil. Coach got a calculator today. Coach got a newspaper. And he's had a great year. He's had a great career here. And this past week, Tommy was voted first team All-Conference. He has my utmost respect. Joey's an excellent person. He always has that big love and smile for you, which is very nice to see. Joey, I'm going to miss you next year, and you've been truly outstanding for us, and I want you to know I appreciate that very much. Joey Cohen. Loyal, committed young man who has a work habits admired by all of us around him. It's been a pleasure to intelligent, focused, intense football player. He has both excellent speed and hands, which gives him the ability to run by people and also catch the football. I will never forget that big catch he made in the Hanover Park game. It was fourth down, and we threw up what we call a 91, which is nothing more than a fade pattern into the end zone. He out-jumped the defender, caught the ball, kept his concentration, came down with his feet in bounds, and went ahead with that touchdown. That was a big-time catch. Greg also was a student of the game. Every time he come off the field, he could explain the coverages he was seeing. He could suggest what routes would work, what routes wouldn't work. And that helps as a coach, believe me. You're not really on the field as close to the action as you are. You're not out there playing. But he did a great job of that.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, Greg missed the final game of his high school career with a kidney injury. But that didn't dampen his enthusiasm against Parsippany. He was there on the sideline, he was helping out, he was making suggestions about coverages and some routes in the first half that he thought maybe were working, and I appreciate that. He's a true student of the game. Chopper is a great guy. He has concern for other people, he's very responsible, he's very mature, he's a class act. Greg always epitome of a high school football player. He refuses to be outworked. He is loyal, he's dedicated, he's disciplined, he's a total team player. He's always giving you 110%, whether it's the practice field or the game. As a quarterback, you can come up and play the run, and the ability to break on the pass, to deflect it, or make a real tough tackle for a minimal gain. A tough runner, a strong blocker, doesn't have that. I'd also like to add, and if you look at his attitude, I'll tell you what, he can lead you. He's a tough, physical football player. Robert Rosanio has had an outstanding year for us. I'm probably saying that wrong, I'm getting a little nervous. Rosanio, excuse me. But he has this drive and this desire to excel that is so admired by him. Believe me, it's great to see this in a young man. He's a great person and he's a lot of fun. That's Robert Rosanio. couldn't double team him or move him. And he chased down the quarterback pretty well too, I'd like to add. As our long snapper on punts and extra points, I can't remember, since he's been doing it as a sophomore, ever having an errant snap. I can't remember a punt being blocked, and the center snap has a lot to do with that. Both offensively and defensively, Chris Benequista is a complete lineman. He has great technique, he has toughness, and he has a desire to compete and to excel. And he has a work ethic that is much admired. He's one of our captains. He led through his work habits and his concern for his teammates and his loyalty to this school. Chris Benequista is a mature, responsible, caring young man. He's a joy to be around. And come next year, it's going to be strange not seeing big number 77 in our lineup. We're really going to miss him. I'd like to add that Chris was voted first team all-conference out. Starting inside linebacker for us. We also have the added responsibility of being our center this season. Nino Capper is quick, aggressive, loves the physical aspect of football, and truly enjoys playing the game. As our center, Nino anchored our offensive line. A center, as you know, has the added responsibility of snapping the ball and then executing the block. Not an easy task. A center snap must be timed properly so that the offense gets off in sync. The center must be able to distinguish defensive fronts and make line calls. Everybody's on the same page. It's not an easy job at any level of football. But Nino has handled the difficult job with ease. When he's backing up the line, he can go from sideline to sideline. He can run. And then when he hits you, he's going to hit you in the tongue, believe me. As one of our captains, Nino is a superb leader. His encouragement, his work habits, his intensity, and his desire to excel and compete rubbed off on all those players around him. He's a very dedicated and loyal player. He's always the first guy in the locker room. He's always looking to help in some way, whatever it may be. He's a great person. He's a heck of a football player, and we're going to miss him next year. That's Nino Capper. First team linebacker.
All right, Nino.
This next young man I'm going to introduce to you is quite a football player. As a sophomore, he was a starting linebacker, and in both his junior and senior seasons, he doubled at guard and linebacker for us. Ralph C. is a strong, tough, aggressive, intense, determined football player. As an offensive guard, Carter was the lead blocker, kick-out block in our sweep series. And that's the block that springs the halfback up the seam, and I think we run sweep pretty well here if you watch us play. As a straight-ahead drive blocker, Ralph would just overpower his opponent. As a linebacker, he definitely would be on seek and destroy missions. I can remember a hit, I forget what game it was, where he just ran right through the blocker, and he sent the blocker into the ball carrier. It was quite a hit. It was actually a magnificent hit. It was a great collision. As one of our captains, he obviously led by his work ethic, a desire to excel, and his ability to excite those around him. Ralph has enjoyed an outstanding career for us at West Essex. He's mature, he's conscientious, and we're going to miss him next year. It has been a pleasure to coach you, Ralph. I'd also like to add that he was voted first team offensive guard.
Oh, wow.
These seniors before you, truly a fine group of young men. They have continued to make this program stronger with their dedication, their loyalty, continue to be successful. I am honored and grateful to have had the opportunity to coach you. All of you have been very special to me, and I will certainly miss each and every one of you come next year. And as I tell every group of seniors that moves on through this program, I'm always going to be here for you. And most importantly, you're forever part of this football family. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, now this is going to be the portion of the program where we pay special thanks to those who helped make this such a great season. And I hope we're going to try and make it as quick as we can, and bear with us because we're all a little nervous. So, Nino, you go first.
I have the honor and pleasure thanking Mr. Al Holster, Uncle Al to us, to us players, very, very important man. He kind of loses control sometimes when he walked into his room, unannounced. He's always afraid we're going to lose a roll of tape or something. Our shark is going to be missing. But he was there for us, always helping us out. Game day came around, he was the first one in the locker room to tell us, have a great game. I can remember an incident when Mr. Benequista couldn't find his shoulder pads. He says they were stolen. We all know. Everybody knows. He's got them at home. But Uncle Al jumped in the Big Al machine. And that was Pennsylvania coach. Pennsylvania because he had to have the power pads. We went all the way down to Pennsylvania. I hear it was snowing that day. Snowing. And he came back with these pads, and Chris said, I can't play. I just can't play without these shoulder pads. I can't play. Well, Uncle Al came through for us. I said, thank you, Uncle Al.
Special thanks to three people who don't often get the credit they deserve, because a lot of the football players can be pains when it comes to their injuries. That's Doc Barishaw, Doc Rubin, and Dr. Mayowitz. Especially I'd like to thank you for Tommy Denardo and Jaime Elheim, who lived in your office.
Winning starts here. That's the slogan of our weight room. Mr. Vasilis, he spent many hours there with us. There were times where we'd have to lift weight. He had no problem with that, never complained. Mr. Vasilis also helped us out this year by taking pictures for all of our games. I'd also have to thank the boosters for I'm sorry, because they reimbursed him for all the film. And Mr. Vasilis, we'd just like to thank you for your support. And without you, we probably never would have gone as far as we did. Mr. Vasilis. We'd also like to thank the three freshman coaches, Coach Teaster, Happer, and Albanese. And you might recall when we were freshmen, we forgot to give you a present. We're trying to make that tonight, you know what I mean? No, seriously, without your support and your teaching, we've never been as successful in a West Essex football program, that we were. You molded us from more or less nothing, and we've, as a result of that, have had a successful season.
Just like to thank the three of you for come up here.
It's my pleasure to talk about a new coach here, Coach Sozio. Yes, he is Mr. GQ Smooth. But I have to say, we were impressed as the days went on. We were more impressed with his attitude. He was just a great coach, and he was just like more of a friend. And when I look at the first day to now, I look at Lorenzo as more of my big brother than I do as my coach. Just remember, big boys, Lorenzo, big boys!
All right, as Coach mentioned, Coach Illinois is unable to join us tonight because he just had back surgery. What we're going to miss about Coach Illinois is his motivation and dedication. It really wasn't there on the field this year, but his spirit, his craziness, as one may put it, was still there. We the seniors thank Coach Illinois for 3 years of great intensity and making us improve football players. We hope, well, this is kind of rough for me because I was sitting with him for 3 years and not hearing him yelling at me all year was really rough. And I hope he gets better shortly. Thank you.
I'm going to talk about Coach Mont, and I'm going to make it quick because he probably wants to get out of here because his wife's about to burst. He's about to go off. No, but seriously, this is a great guy who knows as much about football as anybody I've ever been around. And his intensity and his knowledge of the game just rubs off on everybody. And I'll never forget something he said to me when I was a sophomore. I was probably getting yelled at for dogging or something. And he said, if you accept mediocrity on the football field, then you'll accept it in life. And he made us scared to be mediocre, and he always made us strive for the best. And I want to thank him for that. I always remember.
These are Draws dolls. Ross has got this bad aura. Basically, every middle linebacker he's ever had, I swear had an injury. Some sort, minor, major, who knows. Some will return, some haven't. Josh came up to me one game, had me on the shoulder, shook my hand, wished me good luck. Gonna have a good game. I go out there, hurt my shoulder. I don't understand why. I'm lived through a Wally program and I just don't know what's going on. So I come to the conclusion, he's the one. Every one of our middle linebackers got hurt. Ralph busted a leg. Man, Joe's ankles, man. Little Lester. He says, my hand's hurting me. Guys, my hand's hurting me. Put me against this guy, my hand's hurting me. And I just like, so I told him, I warned you all. Nobody laugh now. Guys, it's not over yet. I just want to point out this doll,
He's got lots of gray hair. You ladies, the guy is old. All dressed up, you know, you've never seen him. You know, he just gets dressed up for this in the wrestling dinner. You know, besides his football clothes. You know, it's really nothing. Really nothing. I've seen a guy naked. You've got to be one of my favorite coaches. Let me tell you, I don't think we've ever agreed on anything. I used to sit there in the middle of the game, I'm just waiting for this call. Straight fire, send Nino. So I'm like, yes, it's going to send me in. In the middle of nowhere, he calls it off. I just think he did to piss me off. So all of a sudden, you know, when this guy was a bachelor, he drive a Corvette. He got married, and then he got a Jeep. Not an American Jeep either. It's a Samurai that keeps on disappearing. He ends up on the football field down the hill, nowhere where he parks it. But since these guys are pushing me over here, because I can talk a lot about this guy. But guys, it's been a pleasure, a real pleasure. You coach me. Thank you. No need. All right, back once again to talk about the man. Coach, let's, for 1 second, just please come out here. Just come on. Now, I did see this. This is not an illusion. Went out one Saturday night, he didn't have the suit on. He had a white suit on. With a black shirt, unbuttoned down to his belly button. He had chains, daggers. I swear he thought he was Tony Manero. Coach Glett's a great guy. I mean, I swear I always miss them veins bulging out of his head every practice. Sagone, strike a blow! Throw, stop talking! Me and him came here at the same time, and just a great coach. Okay? Thank you for everything. I'll start with Coach Nello now. Coach Nello's played two very important roles in my life. Number one, he's obviously my head football coach. And as a football coach, I feel that he is second to none. I've never met a man more intense than Coach Nello. Whether it's during practice, game day, no matter what the circumstances are, and I'm sure everyone understands what I'm trying to say now. Nothing affected him. He didn't let anything stop the team. He was one of the best coaches I've ever known, and it's going to be tough to go on without Coach Nello being there with me. His second role that he played in my life was that he was more than a coach to me. He was more than a coach. He was more than a teacher. He
he was even a step beyond a friend. I'd say Coach Nell was more or less like a second father to me. No matter what was going on in my life or anything, he always found time to talk. I mean, if the issue dealt with football, if it had to do with school, if it was just personal life, he was always there and he always found time for me. And he's not the type of person that you would talk to and it would go in one ear and out the other. I mean, he would sit there, he would listen to what you had to say, and then he would tell you what he thought was best for you. And he won't just tell you what he thought you wanted to hear. He'd tell you what he honestly thought was best for you. Now, to have somebody who was a great coach and also a great friend, that's hard to find. I mean, I just can't say enough about this man. Well, on behalf of Chris, Nino, myself, and the rest of the team, I would like to dedicate our 7-2 football season to Coach Nell and the rest of the coaching staff. Without you being there for us, there's no way we could have accomplished what we've done. And I know that everyone on this team is going to remember this season the rest of our lives. Thank you. Trophy we got for Coach, dedicated to him. It says, Coach Nell, for your best season yet, 1992-97 at 2. I put yet there because next year you guys are going to go 11-0.
As you can tell, this is why you coach. These young people here are truly outstanding. They're fun to be with. They work hard. And that's why I'm a teacher, because of young men like this. And I feel very confident and I feel very good that these young men here are going to be our future leaders, because all of them are. They're leaders. Now, what I would like to do right now, and I want all our seniors to stand up here while we do. I'm sorry.
This is to the cheerleaders. We didn't come up with a set plan to thank you, because you guys did a great job this year with all the secret cheerleaders and stuff. We didn't come up with a set way to repay you, but we decided that sometime this weekend or sometime in the future, we'll all get together and we'll decide, because you guys did a great job and we owe you a lot. And I think you get about it.
Okay, moving right along, but I want all our seniors here. And carrying on with the tradition that we started several years ago, we are now going to alphabetically announce next year's football captains as voted by their teammates. Okay, and I would like this year's captains to announce their successors.
All right, this first captain, know very well, obviously. Great player, great motivator. He's going to do a hell of a job next year. As you can tell by the job he did this year. He's a great leader, and I even think last year he got a couple votes for captain, and that just shows you, what kind of job he's going to do next year. And I'm glad that he's another beneficista doing the job, man. Strong work ethic, and he hasn't got as much time as he might deserve, but he's never complained, and I feel that this kid is going to be a great leader in that.
Alright, next kid happens to be a pretty good friend of mine. He's a great kid. He's going to be a great leader next year. I know him as Money. He's from Compton.
Time yellow.
This captain's been my neighbor ever since I've moved to Fairfield. I don't know where the hell he catches these balls from. I don't understand. But he does it. It's Peter Bisco. There you go, man.
Hey, Captains, tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, in my office. I tell everybody this every year, don't be on time, be early. And I mean it. Thank you, gentlemen. As you can see, there's a lot of love in this program. That's what being a family is all about. We all care for one another, and that's why we've gotten to the situation we're in. Thank you.
Don't worry about it, you're in, buddy.
Okay, for 7 years, she has been involved with our booster club. She's efficient, sharp, she handles any task with the utmost perfection, and has just done an outstanding job for us. I would like Rosalie the Prince to come up on stage. Oh, Rosa, okay. Okay, Rosa, I'm sorry, I have to back up. Okay. Before I got a few last things here. On Tuesday night, December 15th at 8 p.m. at our cafeteria, we're going to have a Booster Club meeting. I know it's a tough time of the year with the holidays, but please make every effort to attend because we're going to be voting for new officers. No, I'll do time and have one of the new captains pick since Rosalie's a little passionate. To our seniors, we're going to miss you. Take what you've done with this program, your work habits, your loyalty, discipline, leadership, and utilize it throughout your lifetime. As I always tell you, the rest will fall into place. It's been an honor and a privilege to coach you. To our underclassmen, you will continue to work hard on the field, in the weight room, in the classroom. We will continue to make this program bigger, better, and stronger. Don't ever be content. Be hungry. Every year I tell you I don't believe in MVP awards, and this year is no different. We are a team. There's no individuals here. We are a family. It could very well preach a team concept or a family concept and then turn around and award one person with the most valuable player. I feel like a hypocrite. Every player here, and I sincerely mean this, is an MVP in my eyes, no matter what their role was. To all our players, I commend you for your hard work, and again, I've been very redundant with this, your dedication, your sacrifices, and loyalty to this program. We had a great year. Many things were accomplished. Number one, as has been said, 7 wins, first time since 1980. 4th consecutive winning season. I think that's a record that Mr. Penninger said. We brought the Cosmo Cardone Cup home with the victory over Hanover Park, and that's very important to this program because that cup belongs here. We had an outright finish in 2nd place in our league. We're not happy about being 2nd, but we're in a pretty good football league here. And there's nothing to be ashamed about being 2nd in this league. Our seniors lead the program with a win. Our underclassmen open up camp with a winning note. The whole program is winning here. Freshmen were 7-2. Sophomore team was 5-3. JVs were 6-1. The varsity was 7-2. You add all that up, that's 33 total games. We're 25-8. Okay, it's not too bad. Yeah, we didn't make it to the playoffs, but we certainly have nothing to be ashamed about. We can't control our schedule. We can't control the size of the schools we play. And I can't control, we can't control the playoff formula in the state of New Jersey. It's the only formula we have right now. When you go 7-2 and not in the playoffs, I think maybe the playoff formula should be maybe looked at and overhauled. But right now, it's all we got. So what are we going to do, man? We're going to work hard. We're going to control what we can control. And that's to be a better football team after each day of practice. That's to go out on Saturday afternoon and give 110%, and then whatever happens, happens. Remember, you be proud and you be positive. Before I close here, I do have to do 50-50. Okay? So I would like Robert Roseanne, come up and pick. Does he volunteer?
Okay, the winner is 270-9965. 'Again, the number is 270-9965. All right, let's pick another number.
Before we leave, I hope I didn't forget anything. I was hectic up here. I don't think we did. I have to thank all the parents for your... Oh, I'm sorry. Now you got 30 seconds. I'm sorry.
When I get on the stage, though.
All right, let's go to last one. You know me, I'm a big schedule guy.
You too.
Come on up.
Come on up. This is something Penn saw last summer, and he said, "Wow, we got to make these or get them made." Well, here it is.
Hold it up.
Last spring, the ones that went to the baseball dinner, we actually rejected batting helmets. And Bench got one and Pete got one. And Ronnie said, they're pretty nice. Well, Coach.
Thank you, Adam.
Here's your desk. So you know the 7 stickers are for the 7 wins. They're off of 7 seniors' helmets, but I won't say who. I made sure of that.
You give it your laugh. Tommy, am I forgetting anything? Okay. All right. I would like to thank all the parents. You've cooked. You've done a great job. You've been patient. I know the evening is long, but I appreciate it. The banquet committee, please, you've done an outstanding job again. But I also think a special thanks are in order to Janet Consola and Roseanne Braden for the coordination of the invitations and the RSVPs. You know, we thank a lot of people here tonight, deservingly so. Okay? But the person who's not here, and I'd be remiss if I didn't thank her, and that's my wife. Because I'm going to be very honest with you, when things were getting, as Mr. Garvey said, confused this year, okay? And I'm not going to get into that situation. She was right there by me, okay? And as a coach, I can appreciate all her time and the time I study away from home, and her being loyal, taking care of our children now, and just being there when I just need to vent. And as one of Nino or Ralph said, I'm a pretty intense guy. I need to just relax once in a while. And it's always good to get home and just talk with her and be with the children. And I appreciate all of her support. In conclusion, parents, again, thank you for your support. I appreciate it very, very much throughout the season. And we made this evening enjoyable, successful. It's the best affair in the school, and I'm not trying to make us better than anybody else, but we'll be talking about this for the next 6-7 months, believe me. It means a lot to your children, it means a lot to me. And again, I thank you. Please be careful going home tonight, enjoy your holidays,